Hi, Assalamualaikum, Madam and all. My name is Muhammad Haris bin Makamarusam from class A4 AS 120116. My matrix number is 2022872806. Today, I am going to show you my prepared presentation. I am going to talk about titration experiment. The title of my video is Introduction to Titration, Determination of the Molarity and Concentration of Sulfuric Acid by Titration with a Standard Solution of Sodium Hydroxide. So, without further ado, let's get into it. First of all, what is titration? Titration is a technique where a solution of known concentration is used to determine the concentration of an unknown solution. Objective. The objective of the experiment is to find out the concentration of sulfuric acid H2SO4 using titration technique. This is the most conventional way to find the concentration of sulfuric acid. So, as usual, before we start, we need to know the apparatus and the chemicals that are needed to run this experiment. The apparatuses are burette clamp, retort stand, 20 ml volumetric pipette, pipette filler, 250 ml conical flask. Next, the chemicals are NaOH solution or sodium hydroxide solution, dilute sulfuric acid of unknown molarity, and phenolphthalein. After all the apparatuses and chemicals are ready on your table, please make sure that all of them are in a good condition before proceeding with the experiment. This is because we need to make sure that there is no accidents to happen and or errors to occur. So this is the setup of the apparatus. Then we can start our experiment by wash the burette with distilled water. Rinse about 5 to 10 ml of sodium hydroxide. Run the second rinsing through the burette tip and clamp the burette to the retort stand. The rinsing is needed to ensure that there is no residual water that can dilute the titrant when the burette is filled with the sodium hydroxide solution. Next, the burette is filled with sodium hydroxide and record the initial burette reading. The tip must be filled and contains no air bubbles so that the accuracy is way more higher. Third, transfer 20 ml of H2SO4 or sulfuric acid using pipette to a clean conical flask. Add 2 or 3 drops of phenolphthalein. Place the flask on a white paper under the burette. A quick tip: the number of drops of phenolphthalein indicator should be consistent to make the result more accurate and perfect. The white paper or tile under the flask helps us to see the solution starting to pigment. After that, add NaOH or sodium hydroxide into the flask until it reaches the end point while swirling it. Record the final burette. This is our rough titration. The rough titration is needed to get a rough idea of the approximate volume of sodium hydroxide solution that is needed to reach the endpoint. This reading will not going to be used to calculate average reading since it is like the trial of our experiment. Fifth, repeat the titration until 2 consecutive titration or plus minus 0.10 ml. If you can't get the readings within that amount, you need to do the titration until this fifth step is successfully achieved. 6. Show all the results to the lab instructor to ensure that you are on the right track. 7. Record the readings from all the titration done. Last but not least, after finish with the titration, empty the burette and rinse it at least twice with tap water and once with distilled water. This is to ensure that the burette is completely clean from the solution. And this is the result of my most recent titration experiment. As you can see from the table, my times of titration is at titration 4 because I have to ensure that I have consecutive titration volume of NaOH used. On titration 3 and titration 4, my titration 3 of volume of NaOH used, my titration is 19.9 ml and titration 4 is 19.8 ml. Last but not least, this is my reference. So, thank you for watching my video until the end, and I hope you all learned something from my presentation. Thank you so much and have a nice day. Assalamualaikum. Bye.